Welcome back, everybody, to the 2025 Derby City Classic. This is round 8, and this is the 9-ball division. This is a WNT ranking event. They will lag for the break, and I am your host, Scott Frost. Thank you all for tuning in. As I just mentioned, it's a WNT ranking event. They'll rack the 9 on the spot, win or break, race to 9, 3-foul rule is in effect, and jump cues are allowed. As you see on your screen, 2 world-class players, Great American Hope, Skyler Woodward, an 8-12 Fargo, Jeffrey, the Bull, DeLuna from the Philippines, an 801 Fargo. They've got Woodward as a 56% chance versus a 44%. We are playing on a beautiful blue label black diamond table with aramith balls, Simonis cloth, the tour blue Simonis cloth. This is a pro cut diamond table, and don't you worry, it's 4.5 inches in pocket size, but we are towards the final portion of this entire event, starting out with bank pool, then 1 pocket, and now 9-ball. The table has tightened up quite a bit, so you do have to hit the pocket, and if you don't hit the pocket, then proper speed is needed. See there a little bit of discussion on the blue too, and we can touch on that a bit. These guys are cut breaking, more than likely, and that means that they're cutting at the 1 with a little bit of a low ball, sending the cue ball back and forth kind of towards the 9. They're trying to make the 1 on the side. These guys are so good at it that they can start to play position on the next ball, so therefore the 2 is racked randomly, meaning you can't continue to put it in the same position over and over. Well, you can, but it's not suggested. Most likely going to get called out on that. Jeffrey DeLuna did win the lag. He is known to break the balls quite well. We're in round 8. He has 1 loss to Mickey Kraus. In round number 6, he lost that match 9-8. Yeah, real nice break there. And he's more from the center, where a lot of the Americans are a little bit more to the outside. And I guess I should mention, they are breaking from a break box. It's not the WNT break box, but it's a regular break box. From each diamond, right and left of center, here on the bottom end, all the way to the head string. That is your break box. He's got the 1 down. Gonna go defense on the 2, just chipping it over towards the 3 with the cue ball, but he might have overhit this. I will add, this is the only angle I have. So it gets a little awkward at times calling certain shots, but Woodward looks like he can go forward here. He's straight in to the side. Wants to avoid this traffic. You've got to believe he's going to come 3 rails, unless he feels like he can run into the 7 or 9, so he's not going to come 3 rails. Might just go into traffic here. Yeah, just took a chance. Kind of paid off, but he's pretty awkward. He's going to have to go over and back unless he wants to come 3 rails behind the 5. Don't think he's going to do that. Wow. So that really tightened up off the 2nd rail. Table playing pretty short now, so it's gotten quite a bit of play. He was trying to come to the 3rd rail behind the 5. He can chip the 5. Use the 7 and 9. This is not where he wanted to finish. He's looking to come down table. I don't know. I feel like this could be a little bit more dangerous because if you leave the 5 open, he's going to have a look to the top right. You know he's probably not going to get a look if he goes towards this area here where his hand is. Yeah, maybe a bit of a decel there. Felt like he had a pretty big space to get. Just kind of let up on the stroke. Maybe was a little afraid to overhit it and leave the bank. So big opener for DeLuna. To the lower right. Wow, that's really a good sign for him early. Nothing easy to open up with there. That's for certain. I would say the break is the best part of his game, but really excels with the tempo. Kind of a momentum player. You can see he doesn't take a lot of time. He's really a field player. Is not afraid, like most Filipinos, to spin his ball. Just come around below the 9. This looks pretty fair. And a big start for him. He's going to take game number 1. So a little bit short on the safe by Woodward. It just looked kind of like he pulled the tip back in that safety play, and that kind of, I guess, maybe allowed him to decel into the cue ball just a little bit, maybe a little hesitant in the stroke. Now the roles are reversed. DeLuna, 54% favorite. Woodward, now the dog at 46%. Can't really get any closer than this. Notice the 2 is racked now on the left corner. It was where the 6 was last rack. Yeah, he'd like to repeat what he did last rack. I mean, as far as the break's concerned, he's had no problem with the 1. It went in quickly. Tells me he's getting into the break pretty powerfully. He's short there, so maybe a little thin on the 1. And that's how we can tell. In case anybody's wondering that hasn't really watched the cut break much, if the 1 goes short of the side pocket, oftentimes you're going to catch the 1 a little thin. So the thicker you hit it, the longer it's going to go. If it comes past the side, it means you probably hit it a little too thick. That's how they gauge or make their adjustments. Anywhere out towards the center, you don't have to draw this ball too much unless you feel like you got to come all the way back. Oof. Yeah, I thought he might just try to pound out and take the cut on the 2. There's always a risk of running into the 3 there or getting behind the 9. He will not be jumping this ball. 500 plus players in each event. As I mentioned, we are down to the final event of the 3. Start out with bank pool, then 1 pocket. And now into the 9-ball division. pool finals are Gorst versus Chohan. Championship Sunday. It's a new thing they're doing at the Derby City Classic. So the final day will be Sunday, and it will have the finals of all three events, which is pretty cool. Then SVB and Gorst will play the one pocket finals. Kick to the 2. Rattled out in another big opener for DeLuna. Recent memory, one of DeLuna's best years was 2019. It's been around quite a while. Won the Bogies Classic 10 ball in 2019, paid $2,500, but took third in the U.S. Open 9 ball championships, paid $12,000. He's got a chance. He's one of those players that could easily win the U.S. Open. He is definitely an elite player. Anybody with an 800 Fargo is an elite player. I do think at times pressure might get to him a little bit. Might not play as many of the events as some of the guys, and that probably has a lot to do with it. Alright, is he afraid to go forward? Don't believe he's straight. He could go forward or just draw back. Looking at the left side on the 8 here. Problem with going forward using the lower right rail with a high ball is the cue ball can arc at times. He's going to be able to, no problem. He's close enough. Just smooth it. Yeah, so if you hit that harder, the cue ball tends to want to arc and kind of kill over here on the right side of the table. Come back to the second rail here. And that was thin. Got it down. Quickly off to 2-0 lead. DeLuna off and running. And maybe a misexecution in game number 1 by Woodward on the safety. He did punch around to get on the 5. Came a little short on him. That's where the safety showed up. DeLuna made a great cut to open that up. Win game number 1, and now here we are. Woodward had another look at the 1. Instead of just kind of staying out in the center of the table, taking what he's got on the 2, the steeper cut. Try to get perfect on it. Ends up behind the 9. DeLuna now a 64% favorite to win this match. If you're a Fargo guy. Also made the finals of the World Cup of Pool in 2019. Part of his great year, Jeffrey DeLuna. There's the flick on the 9. He got the 1 down, the 2 is down. He's going to have a look at the 3. Long and thin to the top left. I do think it grants position. And there's another look, just squeezes the 1 in. Made that adjustment though from the thin side to the thicker side. I don't see a big problem here. This is all about making it, right? Just focus on getting the 3 down, maybe a tip of right to help it in. Like to track past the 5. Or even into the 5 is okay. He's overcut it. You give Woodward the same look, almost. Tough to tell here. Believe he can get it down. Is he dealing with the 9, though? No, very good stroke to miss the 9. Come clear on the 4. Real easy to overhit that ball, meaning lose the cue ball. Woodward, a very light-hearted guy. Not a lot of talking in this match. He played a match just a while ago where a friend of his, Roberto Gomez, and they were chatting it up throughout the match. It's actually a couple of days ago, but taking this one pretty serious. It is a ranking event for Matchroom. They fall a little awkward on the 6 where he's going away from the 7. Can draw out of the lower left corner or just go 3 rails to the left side. Great speed. Absolutely perfect here. That was a low inside ball. Well, this is a great sign for the young man. And he's going to get on the board. Barring any miracles. Woodward takes game number 3, trailing 2 games to 1. Pretty good year in 2024. Won the Pennsylvania Open, which was a ranking event. Paid $8,600. He also did something pretty special. We've talked about it a few times. His one-pocket game has come through the roof. He's actually started to like the game, and it's a game you have to like. But he's actually really fallen in love with it. Not just liked it. He finished in the finals at paid $17,000. Roberto Gomez got the best of that. Skyler had to beat him twice. Won the first set, then lost the second. See how far out he is here on the break box? Good news for him. He's gotten 2 balls down and a clean look at the 1. Can he hold for the purple 4 here in the lower left? Either way, whether this ball is frozen or not, you do want to catch the 1 going in. You do not want to catch the rail first. Question is, he'd love to be even just above the 8 somehow. Able to hold, no problem. No, great opportunity to tie the match up. Just get out towards the center. Can actually get a little tight here because of the line with a high right ball. Yeah, that really took off on him. Here he goes again, getting close to the 5. Going to the extension. Everything a little funny. Yeah, he looked like he just wanted to get a little closer to the 5 there. And let go of it a little quick. Kind of favorable bump. What a difference the extensions in the cues have made nowadays. You'll see these players, almost all of them, have 22 to 24 inch extensions for that very reason there. All the way to a 4 and a 6 inch extension. Woodward going to tie the match up. 2 games apiece after game number 4. Yes, sir. Those percentages will change. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at his year, 2024. Won the Big Time Classic, which is another, pretty strong win. It paid $5,000 to win that event. Finished 4th in the U.S. Open Bank Pool. What else sticks out to me? Finished in the finals of the Big Time Classic One Pocket event. So a great year for Woodward in the world of One Pocket. Finished 3rd in the Beasley Open, which is a ranking event as well. And obviously finished 2nd in the Moscone Cup. Each player that represents Team USA will earn $20,000 if they do not win. Breaking from way outside, was thin with the 1 last time. Caught him much heavier this time, got a ball down, I believe the wing ball. Yeah, take another look. No, it wasn't the wing ball, it was the 5. It got flicked in off the 8. Kind of similar, a lot easier though than the 5 ball that Jeffrey DeLuna opened up with down here to the lower right. This is real natural and very clean. Couldn't strike that ball any better. Just rock forward here past the 8 or stun out. Tell you what, this is not a bad layout. Is he a little steep to go forward? He can beat the lower left corner. In the blink of an eye, looking like he is going to take the lead in game number 5. Woodward has had some pretty good years as of late. 2023 earned a total of $98,000. 2024 earned $96,000. Pretty consistent in the money earning field. 2021 he earned $64,000, 22 $86,000, 23 $98,000, 2024 $96,000. It's almost like a job. I can attest. I can definitely attest. It's a little demeaning when you tell people that don't really know much about it that you play pool for a living. I think the word play is a bit misleading at times. Even my girlfriend would look at me at times and say, "Scott, you're getting to play pool." Well, It's a job, I promise. The stress levels are up there. Alright, the cue ball gonna finish low. The 2 is down as well. He is close to the 3. That's good news. He cannot cut it to the top left. Most likely gonna bury him behind the 9. I don't know that he can actually lodge him up behind it real well, though. Just because of the angle he's on. So he might just create some type of distance and use the 7 and 8. 6 and 5. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve. Can he bank it past the right side and use the 9 here and maybe get the 3 down here below the 8? Yeah, something like this. A little bit off with the cue ball. I believe he's got him. If not, it's very close. He's got the jump cue. Boy, you don't have to jump much of this. Pretty quick to this. Feel like you want to bank it back up towards the 9 here and use the 4. Well, you kind of always felt like that was a possibility with the way the 4 laid anyway. Can't say he hit it poorly. He made the bank if that's what he was going at. But boy, things have changed quickly within the last 6 games. And we are on game number 6. 2 rails out for the 5. And a little thick there. Does have an angle and level out. Neither one of these guys waste any time. I think it's actually a big part of 9-ball. The tempo. Woodward going to take game number 6 as well, so that's 4 in a row after trailing 2 games to 0. Pretty quickly. And another look at the jump shot. You've either got to really get into the cue ball there and draw it past or above the 4, or you've kind of got to knock down a forward ball, right? And that's what I would think anyway, if I were DeLuna. Kind of felt like he wanted to catch that ball heavy because he had a big wall there. The 4, the 7, and 8. And I did touch on it in the Moscone Cup. The Americans break from the outside quite a bit more than the Europeans, where they'll break more towards the center or from the center. Once again, got a ball down to the top right. What is the 4 going to do? Alright, the wing ball went directly in this time. It's not a bad sign if you're not necessarily going at the 1 at times. These guys will make adjustments. I feel like he can see the top piece of this ball if he can, but can he avoid the lower right corner? think he'd already shot it if he could bank the one up like past the 2 or towards the 5 with an outside ball. So he's going to elect to roll out. Looking to roll out there would be his opponent, DeLuna's option to play it from where it lies or return it to Woodward. Feel like no matter what in this moment, you've kind of got to take it from Woodward. You definitely don't want to return it. He's had table time. He's feeling good. He's won 4 games in a row. You've got to stop the bleeding one way or another. Now, it is thin off the right side of the 1 if you want to come down behind the 3. Might just take a chance at cutting this to the lower right. Very thin. So he was trying to get down behind the 3, and that's not going to work out. Woodward looking to win 5 in a row now. And once again, I really don't see any trouble. Is it the 5-9 combination, or does he play short side of the 5 to get to the 6? It's all about really now where he lands on the 3. I don't think you go with the 9 here. Just take the cut on the 3. Now, do you take a chance at going into the 5 now and freeing it up? Or do you just get up to the 4? I think up to the 4 is probably a smart play. Somewhere around the center of the table here. Make sure you get above this 4, though. Yeah, well done. I guess nothing really could go too wrong there, going at the 5 with where the 4 is at. Not getting too quick either. The pace staying the same around the table. Nice touch that needs to settle. Is this funny now? Does he have to check it off the top left long rail and the bottom rail, or can he just draw straight up and down? Needs that to run. Not too bad. Cue ball finished off the rail. Makes a huge difference there. Gives him a little breathing room. One of the best with the high cue ball. Very good when that back arm is level. And without a doubt, in my opinion, probably the best at the punch stroke. When a ball is kind of long and almost dead straight, Skyler will get more out of the cue ball than most any of these guys I've ever seen. He can create straight lines and turn them into big angles. He is very, very good with the level cue. Woodward wins this event, wins the Master of the Table here at the Derby City Classic. Title that always eluded me. I think I finished second twice. I know I finished once to Efren, and then maybe third. But a very tough title to win is the Master of the Table. Kind of checking his own rack here, like something's happened, or maybe DeLuna saying something to him. Okay, DeLuna saying, hey, is your cue ball out a little too far? And I think Skyler said, no, look, it's right within the guidelines. Interesting. What just took place there? Skyler been nowhere near a dry break up until this point. Was there a little gamesmanship, maybe taking Skyler out of the zone or the focus after 5 in a row versus the bull? Just not a great hit, that's for certain. Yeah, a little awkward, right? So if he's looking to edge the one, is he looking to make it to the lower left? I almost couldn't fault him there, but there's a lot of traffic down low. If he edges it, because the cue ball's so far right, boy, you've really got to paper thin it. Looks like he might be going at this. So he was betting on contact with something down there. Yeah, this is pretty good. I don't know if there's a window between the 6 and 4 to the right long rail or not. Woodward gonna weigh out the jump. I think he likes it. It's probably all he's really got. I guess he could go one rail to the left side towards the 2. It's a big ball to get over the purple 4. Yeah, a little hesitant there, and he knew it because he didn't want to lose the cue ball off the table. That was the only fear there because he was pretty thin to the 2. Landing on the 2 wouldn't have worked, I don't believe. So he wanted to catch a hop first and then into it. Just kind of let up just a bit. No excuses here for DeLuna. Ball in hand on the blue 2. He can afford to get somewhat straight on the 3 if he'd like, or carry a real steep angle. The only concern is the 9 might be a big ball if you choose to come 3 rails on the 3. Purple 4 is down by the 5. Yeah, if anything, a player might have a tendency to just catch this a bit thin with the inside ball, but he is using carbon. The 9, a big ball now. Going to the jump cue. Of course, hindsight 2020, you could say maybe took a little bit of a chance coming to the 3rd rail there. Had ball in hand on the 2, could have gotten straight on the 3 to where he draws into position. I felt like it was pretty easy to control that way. and he's left-handed, so he would have been on the correct side of the table to draw back below the 9. Or even stay above the 9 wouldn't have been bad if you get straight on the 3. Now, faced with something similar to Skyler's jump, this is quite a bit easier, though, because he can catch the 4 full. Notice the back arm directly in line. Oh, and that's a big shot right there. That is a dagger. Another look. And didn't catch any part of the right side of the 4. That means that back arm was dead in line. A lot of times these guys will kind of cut the 4 to the top side of the table because your arm wants to veer out a little bit. Did he get thin here for no reason? Should be able to draw below the 9 and out. Can go forward around the 8 and 9 as well, maybe. Might have got a little quick, though, with that decision. Look here. Let up on the stroke. A little concerned about the 9 maybe there. Felt like he could just come around 2 rails on the 8. Super thin. Does not want to play safe, trailing 5 games to 2 with ball in hand, basically, after you come with that jump shot. Well, great recovery. This is going to open up. Game number 8. Gonna go to the bull. It's within 2. Couple of little trick shots in there. He did have ball in hand early. Snookered himself on the 9, but came with a great jump shot. Woodward, in my opinion, might win the racking contest as well. One of the quickest I've seen at throwing the balls up on the template rack. Now that I pointed it out, just watch him rack the balls. Typically, the balls are almost racked before the camera gets to him. Talking about Woodward. What year was 2019 that was a big year for professional pool in America? Well, it was the last year we won the Moscone Cup. Woodward played a massive role. I believe it was the final year, and he played the final 9. Correct me if I'm wrong. Moving a little more to the outside now with the cue ball. And that's as good as it gets. Back and forth with the cue ball above the 9. Got the 1 down. Also, the 4. Yeah, notice the cue ball back and forth above the 9, starts out below it. I don't think the angle here is bad. I think he can get below the right side. Might actually be a little misleading. He might be much straighter than I believe. If that's the case, he might be going to the 8. And have to avoid that, but it looks almost perfect. Just one big shot away. Yeah, this is absolutely perfect. Well, most likely have to go forward now. 2 rails out above the 8. Yeah, it's a game of big swings. Woodward fouled on the jump shot to the 4. Does get maybe a bit quick at times. I just feel like if he took another split second sometimes, because he will one-stroke the ball. But this is DeLuna's style. A lot of guys play like that. But sometimes he'll one-stroke the ball versus other times where he'll take a couple of bunt strokes over the ball. And you'll see guys like Federgorst won't ever really do that. He's going to have the same motion every time. Filler, typically the same motion every time. Most of the elites, like the upper 800 guys, you know, the guys that are 820s and 830, they're really going to do the same thing every single time. Even Woodward, right? He used to kind of get into that one-stroke mode, and now takes a little bit more time. Of course, with age, that's going to happen. Pretty young still, Jeffrey DeLuna. Born in 1984. Going from the outside again here. Had a great result last break. He's within 1. Alright, a little thick to the 1 there, and it looks dry unless he gets the 4 down. Yeah, so watch the 1 come past the side and catch the point. So maybe just a touch thick to the 1. Notice the cue ball finishing where it did as well, so it didn't track below or above the 9. It got a kiss. Wants to find the gap between the 7 and 8. Just come over below the left side. This is a little touchy, easy to overrun. The 5 actually a pretty big ball. You just don't want to overpower this. 3 rails out. Yeah, pretty big lunge, so I don't believe he meant to catch it that heavy. I do believe he meant to play the 3 into the top right, though. Look how level the cue is here. Does that need to settle? I think it's perfect. Truly one of the best with the level cue and the high ball. The big rack as well did not want DeLuna tying this match up. Yeah, I like what he did there. Almost felt like the heart rate was getting up a little bit. Stunning into position. And a little thin. Maybe a bit heavy on the 7 there. Drawing over and out. He can get into this. Shouldn't be an issue. Also great at elevating is Woodward. Because he's so level, that back arm always in a great position. Never gets out or away from him. Wins game number 10. Woodward gonna step away real quick, and we will be right back. Yeah, and Woodward is back. Watch how quick he racks these balls. Now, as soon as I say that, he'll stumble, fumble, and mumble. But typically, once he gets the one set, he just rifles these things up there. To me, very impressive. I can't do anything like it. Makes it look so easy. I have to put them up one at a time. Very clumsy. The Viking. Mickey Krause just walking by the left side of the screen. What a year he had in 2024, winning the European Open, really putting himself on the map. All right, game number 11. Woodward to break. I got the 1 down, back and forth with the cue ball, crashed directly into the 3, and I believe the 5 could have a piece of him. The 3 might have actually saved him there. The cue ball tracking towards the left center. Hard to tell if he can get to this. Well, he must be able to, and if so, how does he get to the 5? Does it pass the 7? I don't believe it does. He chose to come back and take at the 50 now. It's gonna have to go to the lower left corner. It's kind of a blind ball that you're going to here. You just pick your line and hope for the best. Yeah, notice the line he looked at there towards the pocket. It's a big pocket coming this direction as long as he doesn't get too quick. Well, he was pretty quick, really. Uncomfortable all along, and it is a blind ball that you're going towards, meaning that it's hard to see the line that the cue ball is tracking to the object ball from where you are, because they're so close. Could have finished a lot worse for Woodward. Now, a lot of elite players will actually go off the right side of the 5 here and use the 9. He's probably going to try and use the 8. Did very well. And I'll tell you what, it's not out of the realm of possibilities to knock the 5 or the 6 in. down here in the lower right. Could catch rail first with the 5 and make it off the back of the 6. I believe he'll get a good hit on the 5 because he's got good elevation off the back rail. Well, he actually hit it dead into the heart, but there was one problem. That green ball was in the way. Boy, this is a long jump. Really digging into the cue ball here. You just caught it thin. We touched on that a minute ago. A lot of times with distance in the jump cue, that back arm tends to want to come out just a touch. And if it does, now you're kind of, well, you're putting a little unintended side spin on the cue ball. Now watch the back arm. Right at the end, actually, you could see the back arm go out just a touch and then come back in. Oh, look at this off the second rail. Does he get tidy? No, he doesn't. It leaks. And the 6 and 7 are massive balls here. 9 is even a big ball. I don't think you do anything aggressive. You count the 5 really thick and a fortuitous bump off the 6. Man, this is nasty. Real nasty. If you go one rail at it, you might have to jump a piece of the 9. If not, the side is still at play. Going to the left rail. 3 rails behind it. Hard to find cover. Hard to even make a good hit. He's done that. He's going to leave the 5 on. And it's just kind of been back and forth. Woodward did win 5 in a row. DeLuna initially up 2 games to 0. 5 in a row by Woodward. DeLuna was just within 1. Looks like he's going to be there again. Not going away. Game number 11 does go to the bull. Jeffrey DeLuna. Woodward, a 69% favorite to win the match. He is leading 6 games to 5. This is a race to 9. We are in round 8. Both players have a loss. Somebody is gonna go. Woodward lost to Candela. Francisco Candela in round 6. Lost 9 games to 7. In the round prior to this, Woodward defeated Levan Corteza 9 games to 3. So that was a bit of a bloodbath. And continuing to stay out a little bit more than where he started from on the break shot. Nice. 1 is down. 2 is down. The 6 is going to ruin the party. DeLuna going to be forced to roll out. And where do you roll out to? I know the cue ball got a big kiss out here in the center. Yeah, right there to the 4. And then another one from the 7. The contact was great. This is just the risk you take with the cut break. Where do you go here? Oh, is he looking there to be able to feather the bottom side of the 3, or are you looking there to jump the 9? I guess to a jump shot. Can't fault him. The 4's hanging, so it's all about this. Just think you've got to give it back. Just because of the distance, you almost have to land on the 3 here. But you can't fault DeLuna. Really going to give himself the best chance if he feels like he's half decent favorite to make the 3. I don't know that I would say he's a half decent favorite. I'd say he's probably a slight dog at minimum. Good news here is, though, the 7 could slow the cue ball down if it's tracking off table. Well, it didn't slow it down. And he did get the 3 down. But the 9 was so far away, just had a lot of distance to get over, and the 3 was so thin that the cue ball was just on the second hop. He couldn't keep it down. Pretty intelligent pass up by Woodward. Now watch out here. You don't want to get too steep on the 5. Like to have been a little straighter. Woodward, another one of those guys with very soft hands. Does hold the cue ball quite well, but now going to the extension with ball in hand, he did not want to be here. Does the 6 pass the 3? Excuse me, does the 6 pass the 9? We're going to find out pretty quickly. Might just have to take distance here and be a little steeper on the 6. And that's what he's done. He's actually held it quite well. He's able to punch or draw out. Most likely just draw out 1 rail. With a low right ball. Is the 8 a problem, or is he clear of it? I believe he's clear. Very good. It's the second time DeLuna has had a chance to get within 1 and tie the match up. Going to lead him astray, and Woodward going to lead by 2 once again after game number 12. Speaking of 2, he is 2 away in this race to 9. Living in Texas now, Q-Tech representative. And I'll tell you what, Q-Tech has really stepped it up. I play with their break cue, I jump with their jump cue. also a representative of Fort Worth Billiards, who's done a lot for the game. Shout out to Fort Worth Billiards. Onboard Sportswear. And then last but not least, Tome. Tips or Town Tips. So 2019 was the last year Team USA won the Mosconi Cup. When will it happen again? Oh, thin on the one without a doubt. The one come short of the side. Lost the cue ball to the top left corner, and I'm not certain if it got a kiss or if it just bent around. Boy, I don't believe it got a kiss, and if it did, it was just feathered. Jeremy Jones talks about how Skyler at times can get a little quick in the takeaway on the break. And I've looked at it closely with Skyler, and it is possibly the case at times, but I think it's the case with almost all players. I don't mind any of what he's looking at there. Very little cue ball movement. Playing the two to the top left with some type of an angle. He'd be thrilled to just be where it was there. Don't get too cute and try and get perfect. Leading to the three is always going to be okay. Another opportunity to get within one. If that's the case, he will have a third opportunity to tie this match up. But first, he's got a little work left to do here. I don't see a lot of problems. Would have liked to have been off the rail there just a bit more. Be able to go forward to the bottom rail. No, he's going to stay on the rail now. This is where Joshua Filler or Gorst might even play the 5 down to the lower left. There's some body movement there. Guess he might have felt like he missed the 4, or at least caught it a lot heavier than he'd expected. Can draw out of this or punch 2 rails. Doesn't want to be straight or have that awkward angle where you're drawing towards the left side. Really felt like you want to get in that a little bit more and carry an angle towards the center more with the cue ball. Not saying he's in trouble. I think he can manage. Yeah, big stroke. Too big. Wow. Extremely thin to the lower right. Gonna come 3 around the 9. Great speed. Game number 13, DeLuna, once again, within 1. Well, you've got to feel like it's now or never. You don't want Woodward getting on the hill with the break. I'm sure that's going through his mind. This is a must-win rack. Not too bad at getting those balls up there. Woodward a little smoother, I must say. believe it was 6-5 when DeLuna made 2 or 3 on the break and got snookered and had to roll out to the jump shot. Made the jump, lost the cue ball off the table. Okay, this didn't sound real good. No, kind of a clatter there. See how he hit these balls. Did he catch it thin? It didn't look like he caught it too thin. Might have racked himself a little bit there, or just maybe a bit of an off stroke. He's got to get out and clear here for the 2. As you draw past the 7 and 9. Yeah, I can't fault him. Took a little bit of a chance, but really felt like he was going to catch the 8 full, if anything. So a nice shot there by Skyler to start this out. You can come 3 all the way around. You can play the 3 in the same corner as the 2. Great speed as well. Doesn't want to fall flat though. Most likely playing the 5 to the lower right. Here with just a center right ball coming to the 2nd rail. And that'll work. Yeah, I was going to say you could come all the way down here to the rail, but you don't want to get straight. It's not the end of the world due to where the 7 is. I guess you just kind of feel that way, right? When the 7's hovering over the side a little bit, you don't take as much caution as to where you get on the 6, and sometimes can get you in trouble. And there's that big punch stroke from almost a straight-in ball. Gets so much out of it. Now might be forced to just softly roll the 7 in. Wow, straightly elevated. Gonna snap back a little. Very good. Under the gun, I mean dead straight elevated. A little bit of a grin there from Skyler. Over and back, short side of the 9. Just gonna dump this into the side, and he is 1 away. Woodward on the hill. .89% favorite. Now to win the match, even though DeLuna only 3 games away. Looking to get the 1 down with a look at the 2. He has got the wing ball down a few times and not the 1. He'll take that as well. everybody. Woodward is on the one-loss end of things. Did lose in round number 7 to Francisco Candela, 9-7. So this is a must-win to keep his hopes alive. Narrowly lost the cue ball to the top left. He's got a ball down. He does not have a look. And the one way short this time. Did catch a kiss off the bottom of the 9, I believe it was. Where do you roll out to? Well, you've got to feel like it's a little dangerous to the top right side of the table. But I don't know where else you go. I think you might just have to take your chance from that part of the table. Yeah, there's no way DeLuna can return this back to Woodward. There wasn't a lot he could do. Maybe put a little more emphasis on the cue ball, maybe. Quickly down here. Well, you better watch outside pocket. Never a doubt. One in the side with position on the 2. Pretty thin. I think it's a little thinner than it looks. Boy, he definitely had some movement there. Once again with a legitimate opportunity to get within 1. And this will be the 4th time in this match, if he gets within 1, that he's got a chance to tie it up. Stayed on the correct side of the 6. Can punch around 3 rails. Might be concerned about going forward and arcing the cue ball. I got into it well. That was never a concern. Pretty well done from there, but he did fluke the 1 into the left side to start this rack off. Game number 15 to DeLuna. He is thinking golden break. Make it easy and tie this match up. Has trailed by 1 4 times in the match. Well, he's getting a little quicker with racking the balls as well. Is it his time? Big exhale there. Yeah, and the cue ball back towards the center now. On the ones down. Does he have a look on the 2? The 6, a huge ball. Really just kind of the luck of the draw here. He did finish the cue ball pretty high here, drawing above the 8 and out. But you can't say he hit the balls bad. So just not very fortunate. Once again, in this position, push out not quite as difficult. You can go maybe just below the 9 on the right side of the table. Worried about leaving Woodward some type of bank to the side, though. I don't think you chance pushing out to a jump shot. So he's looking at this line here, and that's possibly leaving a cross to the top right with a two-way play. Leaving Woodward there, he is going to take it if you let him see enough of the 2, because it's got a built-in safety. So I might think this out a little bit more. Yeah, Sky will take this on if he can see enough of the 2. Got a huge wall with the 6, 4, and 9. 3 is laid up to the top left. He put some inside on it, so I didn't expect to just allow him to see the 2 wide open, but maybe that's all he could do. Obviously couldn't catch quite enough of the 2. Now, do you take the bank on to the lower left? I think it's go time. Kind of got a backdoor safety with the 8, 6, and 4. But with the 3 where it's at, it's extremely touchy to try and edge off either side of the 2. He can get into the cue ball good as well, so does he go at this? Doesn't seem like it. Well, if you can do that, I think that was the right decision. What a great shot by DeLuna. At this point in the match, Woodward with a big shot coming up to hit the 2. And he's short, so now it is in the hands of the bull. No better chance in this match to tie it up than in game number 16. He's not looking at the 9 off the 3, is he? I don't believe so. Everything leads to one another here. Maybe just waiting for his opportunity. Christina Tkach on the left side of your screen. Better Gorse, better half, much better half, I might add. Yeah, I don't know why you're trying to get below the 3 here. Don't you just play the 3 into the corner and come around below the 8? You can play the 4 into the lower left. Getting below the 3 here just seems unnecessary. Okay. Now is he in a position where it's a longer reach? Did he let up on that and mean to get a lot closer? Yeah, I think he actually let up on that. I think he was trying to pinch down below the 3, which for me, I just Don't quite understand why there. I felt like just punch out below the left side. You're pretty natural to come 2 rails towards the 4. And a little weak there. He's going to be all right. You don't have to get cute here. The 6 plays to the top right. Obviously, you can draw this for the side on the green 6, but you don't have to. Just going to punch over. He was kind of in between. Now got a funny angle. Gonna come around the 8. 3 rails. Oh, looks perfect. Just avoided the 8. Wow. They say third time is a charm. Not so much the case in this match, but possibly the 4th time to tie it up is where the charm is at. And we have action. 1 game for all of it. Woodward, DeLuna, 8 games apiece. Yeah, take another look at the safety. How can you argue with the play? Just wants to get the 2 past the left side and just glues him right up to the backside of the 8. Just short with the kick. He's trying to kind of arc the cue ball towards the 2 there because the side pocket was so big. Kind of, in my opinion, a surprising finish. Anything, of course, can happen. DeLuna was a big underdog 3 racks ago. And still a 2% underdog. With DeLuna breaking the balls. He has been unfortunate in the look department after the break. He has got balls down. Good luck to both players. It never feels like there's just a roadmap when it's hill-hill. Typically just doesn't seem to happen after the break. Back to his original position. I know he did this last time. The 6 snookered him. Can he get a look after the break here? Oh, really quick in the backswing there. Did the 4 fall? The 4 did fall, and something else fell as well. The green 6. The 1 and the 2 on separate ends of the table. The 6 went straight in to the top right. The 4 got a kiss. He can see the left side of the 1 at minimum. I believe. But can Can he even reach it? Once again, I just touched on it. Just never seems to happen. Murphy's Law when it is hill, hill. We never see a road map. Couple of concerns here. If you do feather our left side of the 1, try to come around the 7, potentially a big ball to crash into. Would like to use the 5 as cover. Can you bank the 1 up past the 8 and just leave him side rail to side rail? I think you've got to feather the 1 over here to the right side of the table using the 5. That's pretty darn good there. He really got it thin. And actually, I think used a little bit of an outside ball. 2 rails behind the 1, or do you catch it thin and bring the cue ball down? Now, how did you do, Mr. Woodward? It's as good as it gets. 2 great plays by 2 great players so far. Now, is the 1 out enough to get behind it? I don't believe so. He's looking to go into the ball first. What is he trying to do? Is he trying to cross the 1 backup table and send the cue ball towards the 2? Or is he going to do this? I don't think you can hit this softly. I think you've got to hit it with some speed. Yeah, that's probably not going to do it. At worst, Skyler can weld him up to the back of the 9. It might play to the side, the 1. It might lay perfect to do both. If he doesn't get it down in the side, he's got him glued to the back of the 9. Big opener here. Yeah, how did he do? He's so good at elevating. 6 balls away. The last time he trailed in this match, he was trailing 2 games to nothing. Then won 5 in a row, leading 5 games to 2. And since then, it's kind of been blow for blow, back and forth. DeLuna finally tying this match up at 8 games apiece. Really a pretty good little tactical battle right there. Woodward coming with a great kick 2 rails behind the 1. And to be fair, Skyler has played an excellent match here. Nothing really sticks out to me that he's done extremely wrong. I feel like he's played very solid. Just wants a slight angle here on the 8 going forward. Both players have a loss. DeLuna will be gone. And Woodward to advance to round 9. He had a great match by both players there. The crowd appreciates it. I appreciate it. I hope everyone at home appreciates it. Thank you very much. Congratulations to Woodward. DeLuna gave it a heck of a run. Until next time, you all, we'll talk to you soon.